Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I want to say thank you for everyone that has participated with me on this campaign. Swim4Akhirah, we had 6 webinars, 7 giveaways, and we also raised $1,000 for a local nonprofit organization in New York, Benjamin Foundation. I was able to also swim 1,200 meters using my Swim4 app. I want to say sincere special thanks to Speedo USA, Speedo Seoul for supporting me on this, sharing the webinars with me. I'm going to share highlights in the 6 webinars to show you, to also say that it's not just me that's struggling. Here are other Muslim instructors, Muslim women who are struggling, and we want to be represented, we want to be heard within the aquatic and the swimming world. It's not just that our clothing that we go through, it's also we go through renting pools, renting facilities, a lot of different issues, and I hope that this started the conversation to say, let's unite, let's come together, and I look forward to continue building that gap, that bridge with other organizations, companies to jump on board. If you want to come and join me, I'm more than happy. And also, I would love to hear your feedback. Click on this link to fill a survey out. Let me know what your thoughts, how I can make this better for 2021. This campaign was essentially pretty much put a lot on my own with one virtual assistant. And I'm really happy to have come this far, and I look forward to continuing forward in 2021 and beyond, inshallah. And if you need further assistance with your workouts or your fitness journey, you're going to get on a 30-minute call with me. Click on this link, and I'm more than happy to be there for you. Assalamu alaikum. Until next time, keep swimming for Akhirah.
When people found out I was a swimming instructor, it actually I had so many conversations with women saying to me, if their child, they'll have swimming lessons for their children, or they'll take them to local pools. But if something was to happen to their child, they would have such a fear that, they would watch their child in distress, but wouldn't be able to save them. Like, they just wouldn't have that, that urgency to get in there and to grab their child. And to me, that was just such a, profound moment.
I have 5 classes full, like there's waiting lists now for women. So in the beginning, I feel like it was the whole that I can't put myself first. I'm going to put my kids in first. Now, alhamdulillah, now all my classes are full for women. Same with the Aquafit. So the other big barrier for Muslim families in general is that we have to build these relationships and bridges with the cities which we live in. You can bang your head against the wall trying to talk to them. They might not get it, but hold your ground, be firm and respectful at the same time. I fight every year for this program to continue. Every year I'm in meetings, I'm in this and that, trying to keep this program going. So it's totally worth it. Like I agree with Shanae that it's 100% worth it. I love it, I enjoy it, and I see women who could not get in the water, have had really past traumatic experiences with water, who are now in Swim for Life 3, or sorry, not Swim for Life, but adult level 3, 4, or 5 at the top level.
It wasn't just me, it was a whole bunch of other women all around the world, not just in the US, all around the world, and not just Muslim women. What about Orthodox Jewish women? What about conservative Christian women? What about large-sized women? All of a sudden, I just realized that there was a universe full of women that didn't participate in water recreation because there weren't enough options in the marketplace. So I actually wanted to just put something together, homemade outfits, go to the store, find what works, what doesn't work. But when I went to a woman's house, because she wanted me to consult her and tell her what to find and purchase and wear, her husband is the one that said, you should make this. You should have your own brand. And I said, what are you talking about? Our husbands beat us and we're deprived. So this was a big deal to especially to the West. And it was a big revolution. And so when we got a lot of media attention, we got interviewed, I would get interviewed by reporters, and they started referring to the splash gear swimwear as Burkini. I said, no, this is splash gear. This is not Burkini brand. And time and again, I would get their response, oh, no, that's just a generic term. That's okay, it's just a generic. It's like, no, it's not a generic term. that is somebody else's trademark. But they kept insisting it was generic, and it was really, you know, I would say the fault of the media for taking a brand name, a trademark, and then converting it into a generic common term. And then just the Muslim community just started calling every modest full coverage swimwear they saw as a burkini. Here in the US, a lot of conservative Christian and Mormon community members started their own companies, but they didn't get they barely got any media attention. It wasn't until the Muslims came up with their own swimsuit. That's when the Orthodox Jewish company started up. That's when the Mormon companies got more attention, the conservative Christians. So if you look at different communities, again, it's not very new, alhamdulillah, but just each community developed it on its own for its own reasons.
A lot of the moms, put their kids and then they forget themselves. And that's why I asked for the right age, so that the right age, it's as early as 6 months. And then it's the environment.
First of all, for children and teaching them about phobias and all of this, first of all, you need to know what your target is. Mm-hmm. If you want to teach the child about water safety, as in rescuing themselves, what they should do. If someone else is drowning, what they should do without hurting themselves. If there is a danger scene, what they should be doing. So it's a multi-layer education that the child should have. And the parents, I know for swimming specifically, the parents' experience can reflect a lot on the child. We need to have that sort of education and raise awareness regarding, doesn't matter what experience you've had. There are people who learn how to swim at 40. It's very important that either the instructor to be very close to them as a start until they get the comfort and the confidence in themselves and water confidence. So that all relates to how the instructor goes about it. But comfort is very important, and fun does play a big role into, again, bringing comfort and confidence in the water.
As you know, there's been a lot more talk in the swimming community about mental health. And some of the key Olympians that have really put out there that the slogan, "It's okay to not be okay," is Michael Phelps and Allison Schmidt. Allison Schmidt is actually one of my best friends. I swam with her in college, and she was my freshman year roommate. So I've loved seeing what she's done since I've known her at the age of 16. To now, using her platform to once again start a conversation. She's not the only one. Missy Franklin in 2012 came forward saying that she had dealt with some depression and anxiety going into Rio. She had an amazing 2012 Olympics. She won gold, and it wasn't like she wasn't expected to win gold, but she was very young when she did it. So the amount of pressure that is put on an Olympian to repeat past Olympic performances is a lot. So all that added pressure really kind of hindered her mental health, and she struggled with her identity, who she was, and how fast she was racing in 2015 and 2016. So as far as like the impacts of what this means when you're wearing a swimsuit, is obviously everybody has a body, whether we're happy with how our body looks or whether we would like to change it in some capacity. We all have an ideal body image that we prefer. And one of the main things that a swimsuit does is it highlights what your body looks like at this current moment. So whether you like it or you don't like it, when you put on a suit, you have the ability to self-object and really kind of look at yourself in a positive or negative light. And I would say for a lot of people, that can be more negative than it is positive. So we found a study from a psychologist at Finlay's University in Australia who basically confirmed that women specifically have a fear of trying on bikinis and swimsuits around the summer. Just because when you're in kind of a dressing room or wherever it is in the mall, you're standing in front of a lot of mirrors. There also may be a lot of bright lights, and it's highlighting you at a very base level, and you get to then formulate an opinion to yourself back on what you see. So a lot of times that puts women into a crummy mood, and it allows women to be reducing themselves to thinking of themselves more as just objects. I was told more so to suppress what I was feeling and thinking and like just shut your brain off. The fastest swimmers can just go swim no matter what's going on in their life. And still to this day, I have this like part of my brain that really wishes I didn't have to deal with emotions and didn't have to deal with actual things, and I could just shut my brain off. And it's like an unattainable goal.
A lot of women have fear, Muslim women have fear of water. And I noticed that in my business, whereby majority of the women that come for swimming have probably never swam, and most of them are mature. So they're not like 16 or 17, they're kind of 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, but they've had a lot of fear of water within their childhood, and they've never actually attended swimming lessons. So I noticed that with the more mature women, there was a lot of fear about the water. One of the reasons was because they were thrown into the water. The second was because they maybe had a really bad experience around water, whether they've almost drowned or they kind of slipped and they fell or something like that. So those are the two main concerns that I had.
I'm now make them just have one lane for them and swim with boys. It's fine, and make everyone just feel like comfortable when they are swimming. The problem is they wear burkini, but they are afraid of because of the boys or the men's just look at them and look how they are swim, or the ladies is always afraid of this look. So I'm talking with everyone, just please make space for us to can swim and to can enjoy our life, because we are human. We wanted to swim like all people swim. We have to swim like everyone, not because we wear burkini or we wear hijab, we couldn't swim or enjoy our life. We have to enjoy our life too. This is the message.
I had a young lady, as we were on the podium, say in front of everyone, yeah, she won, but why does she get to cheat? Wow. She said this in public in front of other people. Tried to pull me off the start line because of my gear, even though it had been approved by USAT and approved by the race director. They tried to stop me from racing. And that's how I met one of my closest friends, Tom Shear. He and another gentleman conveniently got in their way before the horn got off, and I dove in the water and started the race before they could stop me. And it was the main thing is the gear and lack of awareness by others. I am Black, Hispanic, and Muslim. And I know Jerry, I don't know if Jerry is Hispanic herself, but I do know she's married to a man who's Hispanic. Mm-hmm. And most of my issues have come because of my hijab, not because of my race. But I do know that Atlanta has a huge triathlon community.
We need to get more people that look like us on that start line. And we also need to get it to the point where it's not a big deal. I would love to race, and it's just not a big deal when people aren't just like, hey, are you Khadijah? When I'm at the line, because it's got to be one or the other. She's either Jerry or Khadijah, and I'm either Khadijah or Jerry. So, I want to see it where there's just like so many of us that they're just, it's not a big deal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Inshallah. And I feel like that's why it's like, I want you to say it again, and preach. So yes, 100%.